Inside the Barriers, brought to you by Bet Deluxe. Serious betting for serious punters.
Welcome to Inside the Barriers, thanks to Bet Deluxe. Go on, deluxe yourself, gamble responsibly. Jordan Kounelis here with you. It's the biggest weekend of the racing calendar. Miles Pfitzner, form analyst, is alongside me. Hello, Miles.
Hello, Geordie. Exciting. Melbourne Cup on Tuesday, the race that stops a nation. Looking forward to it. Hard to dissect the field, but we'll do our best to try and find a winner.
Absolutely. Over the 3,200 metres, there's a lot of narratives heading into this one, Miles. Of course, don't forget we've got the Bet Deluxe punters pick, the $1,000 Dan Murphy's voucher if you get the trifecta. Who's your punters pick?
Yeah, courtesy of Bet Deluxe, they've thrown up the $1,000 at Dan Murphy's. It hasn't gone off yet, but we're going to start with Deauville Legend. I mentioned this horse a couple of months ago. Look, he is the star of the field, and on form, you have to have him on top. I think one of the best runs out of the Caulfield Cup was Montefilia, so I've got Montefilia with the sting out of the track in second. And then I've got Huya Mal, the other international, running into third. I thought I'd try to put one in there that's probably a little bit rougher. So my punters picks 8, 4 and 12, and we want them in the comments below for your chance to win that $1,000 voucher.
Couple of key scratchings heading into this Melbourne Cup, and of course the international raiders, as always, make it interesting. So how are you seeing this Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, look, with the scratching of Loft, it really threw a spanner in the works. It's a tale of two tapes, and you and I have spoken about this at length off air, and it's a tale between the internationals and the locals. It's trying to stack up whether the locals are good enough to tackle the internationals, and it's trying to work out whether or not some of that international form is good enough for the best of the locals. So it's always one of those ones where you are trying to match up. A couple of key important form points. 3,200 metres, you have to be sure the horse is going to run it. The sting out of the ground, you're going to have to be sure that the horse can do it, and then you've got to have a look at the draw as to whether or not the horse has to do too much work to get there. So that's how I look at it to start it.
So some of the key runners then, if we go into some of the international runners, who are the ones that absolutely stand out to you?
Look, Deauville Legend's got to be on top. The form lines that this horse carries from overseas are superb. Like we said, we took a futures ticket on this horse a long time ago, and it really looked like Loft was probably the only one, the German galloper, that was going to get anywhere near it. There's another couple of internationals we need to touch on, though, and that is in Kimura and Huya Mal. Now, Kimura's in with the Hayes camp. The Hayes boys trying to do what their father did, of course, a couple of times. And Kimura's one that, if you go back through the Curragh Cup form, it probably stacks up. Whether or not maybe some of those runs are quite good enough, but pretty sure it's going to handle the trip. Very sure it's going to handle the sting out of the ground, and they'll have this horse trained to within an inch of itself. Another interesting one is Huya Mal from the Gay Waterhouse team. Now, this is drawn a little awkwardly in 15 with Craig Williams aboard. This form out of Great Britain's pretty handy. I know they've bought this horse just with the Melbourne Cup in mind. Once again, another horse that we're probably happy to take a futures ticket on. You're still going to get well into the double figures in the market from a roughie perspective. The other one really for me is Without a Fight. I just don't think the form line's quite good enough for Without a Fight in regards to the internationals. And then, you know, we're calling Gold Trip a local now, so we'll leave Gold Trip out of the international section.
So Deauville Legend, the clear favourite, but you reckon Kimura, for the conditions and for the way the race will be set up, is pretty well suited to this?
Oh, I think you've got to include Kimura and Huya Mal if you're having a quaddie, and I certainly will be. Deauville Legend is the clear standout of the whole field, but those two definitely have to be included for mine, because I just think that international breeding form and that they've set the horse for this race, it's just got to be respected. Like, they're here for one reason, and this is it. Is
Montefilia the best of the locals?
Look, I think you might have hit the nail on the head there. Montefilia, fastest last 200 of the Caulfield Cup. The run was superb. I know the draw was a tad awkward. Look, handles the sting out of the ground. The Caulfield Cup's got to be the lead up, the form line race for this. And look, there's probably another couple in here too. Vow and Declare's another one that I want to touch on. Gets back into a Melbourne Cup now with 54 kilos and draws inside. Now, when he won it a few years ago, I think he only had the 51 kilos from memory and drew inside as well. He's proven at the 3,200. He's proven with the sting out of the ground. They're Group 1 and Melbourne Cup proven trainers. and also gets the right draw and the right weight again. He's probably in the chance for the locals. One of them that snuck in off the base of a stack of scratchings is Realm of Flowers. Now, this horse, Damien Thornton takes a ride. It's had 2 runs up at Randwick over the 2,400 metres, and it's run pretty well there. Running behind Cadre du Noir, which I've got a bit of time for, No Compromise, and La Don de Vie. Now, this horse, being by So You Think, Geordie, is absolutely bred to run over a trip out of Austral Flower, which was a British mare. Realm of Flowers gets in, Sting out of the ground, 4 from 14 on the soft. It's placed twice on the heavy deck if we get more rain this week. So probably through the locals, Montefilia, Realm of Flowers, Vow and Declare. Then going back to the internationals on Deauville Legend, Huya Mal, Kimura. If you want to go and pick, I don't know, if you want to go and pick something that's probably really wild and rough, maybe something like a Point Nepean, or even, you know, I don't know, maybe a Numerian. Both of those ones, probably the next 2 to be added. But they're going to be around about my 6 to sort of follow through for the Melbourne Cup.
Just quickly on Vow and Declare, 2019 winner. So can it do it 3 years on?
Yeah, it's interesting. Once you win them, you get stuck with weight, right? So then it takes a fair while for that cycle to go and the horse to then run in races and then finally get back down in the handicap. So when it gets in here pretty lightly, Vow and Declare, especially for it at 54 kilos, you draw in 4. Blake Shin, like superstar jockey, $20, $25, it's going to be around that mark. Got to be included in those hopes. They're my 6. I couldn't get Vow and Declare in my punters pick, of course, but they're going to be sort of the main ones I'm working around. I can't stress this enough, though. I'm going to be wide in the quaddie. I'm going to be wide in some first 4s. I'm going to have a couple of little savers, but I'm riding a decent ticket still on Deauville Legend. I still think it is the clear and absolute standout pick for the Melbourne Cup.
So just recap the punters pick for us for Bet Deluxe.
Yeah, for the $1,000 Dan Murphy's voucher, we want all your comments below. I'm not sure where they're going to put the graphic here, but it'll be here somewhere, looking up. Punters pick for me. 8, 4 and 12 is the punters pick. Get your entries in. You've only got to pick the 3. You get a $1,000 Dan Murphy's voucher, courtesy of Bet Deluxe.
Excellent stuff. Don't forget, you can go on and deluxe yourself. Gamble responsibly inside the barriers. The Melbourne Cup here on Bet Deluxe.
Well, he called many Melbourne Cups. He was a star of it. He called his horse home in 2 Cox plates. He's the star. He's Bet Deluxe's own Bryan Martin. Over to you for the phantom call of the 2022 Melbourne Cup.
Great race, the Melbourne Cup. They've got 1,600 metres to go, and let's have a look at them. There's Knight's Order just in front now from Serpentine. Grand Promenade behind those from Gold Trip, followed by Arapaho. Deauville Legend getting a good run, then High Emotion. Numerium without a fight on the outside of Realm of Flowers, Huya Mal. Then came a Missouri, followed by Luna Flare. Interpretation from Charlie Rose, and then Young Werder, followed by Dashwin Sweet Jr. Smoke and Romans getting up on the inside of Dewars, followed by Montefilia, Vow and Declare, Kimura, and Stockman's dropped out to the back of the field. The leaders have gone pretty hard here. Knight's Order and Serpentine go to the 1,000-metre mark. They're 2 lengths in front of Grand Promenade. And the pace is right on from Gold Trip. Deauville Legend getting a lovely run behind them. Without a fight on the outside of Arapaho and High Emotion. Then came Realm of Flowers. Further back than Huya Mal. They're starting to really pack up as they come up towards the turn. At the 700-metre mark, Knight's Order, Serpentine fighting it out from Grand Promenade. They're all going pretty hard. Gold Trip further out from Arapaho, and Deauville Legend got a beautiful run up on the inside. Without a fight, starting to join in from Realm of Flowers, and running on as Dashwin Sweet Jr. and Smoke and Romans. Into the straight they come, and Deauville Legends ranged up on the outside and hit the front. The favourite goes to the lead now around the turn. Deauville Legend in the Melbourne Cup. Without a fight, coming at it on the outside. They've come away 2 lengths in front of Numerian. Then getting a run through Smoke and Romans, Dashwin Sweet Jr. further out on the track. It's Deauville Legend the inside, and without a fight, they're going stride for stride at the 300-metre mark. Little between them, Deauville Legend a neck in front of without a fight. Then on the outside, Smoke and Romans a lightweight coming home well from Dashwin Sweet Jr. Deauville Legend's a neck in front of without fight. That's Deauville Legend the inside, and without a fight coming at it. Deauville Legend without a fight, stride for stride to the line. Deauville Legend's got its head in front. The favourite gets up to win the cup. Deauville Legend a neck on the line to without a fight, and flying home, Smoke and Romans got 3rd. Dashwin Sweet Jr.'s run 4th from Arapaho. Grand Promenade, Gold Trip, and then High Emotion. Behind those, Huya Mal. They're further back, Numerian, Realm of Flowers, and Missouri and Luna Flare. Young Word and Ever in it from Charlie Rose, Interpretation, Duas and Montefilia. Further back, Kimura, Vow and Declare, and Stockman last of all. Deauville Legend gets up in a punishing finish to win the Melbourne Cup, number 8. 6 Without a Fight is second. Third, number 19, Smoke and Romans, and Dash and Sweet Junior has run fourth. Good luck.
Inside the Barriers. Brought to you by Bet Deluxe. Serious betting for serious punters.